Yeah, the Monkey Ink to Tide is actually pretty nice for the Monkey King. You don't care too much, again, for Anchor Smash. Gush might be annoying, but you can just hammer in, get some Jingu stacks up, and control the lane. Two base do get the Grimstroke, so that does look like our Empyrean hero. You've got the Earth Spirit Grimstroke combo here. So you roll in with the Inkswell. You've got some great pick-off potential outside of Ravage now, so you can keep playing this ganking game if you want to on the side of two base. They've got the Soulbind as well to hold some of these heroes down, although they don't have anything to chain off of that as of yet. But, the combinations with Soulbind have taken a backseat. Undying do take the Enchantress out. This should be our Dubu hero. And it's one of those heroes he does excel on the pause 5. You've got good trades coming out. You have a decent enough heal. You can take a dominated creep and just kind of run with it. There's no Mirana here to handle that, as it was banned in the first phase from Undying. So they set themselves up for a pretty smooth Enchantress game if they are going to go for, just going for that enchanted creep and winning out the lane with that kind of trade.
Yeah. Do like myself an Enchantress coming out here, Undying. Simply 2-based here to make their 4th pickup now. Because obviously we have 2 more cores left. Maybe they choose the mid lane matchup. It's hard to know with the Monkey King, right? Because you never know whether he's going to be in mid or whether he's going to be in the safe lane. Looks like simply 2-based. For now, we'll go for the Phantom Assassin, which does do decently up against the Monkey King. You naturally go into a Deso to kind of counteract that armor that Monkey has. And of course, the evasion is very nice into the Monkey King as well. See if Undying are going to choose a last pick safe lane or whether they pick another mid instead. Either way, their combination of Monkey Mars is going to be pretty strong regardless, right? Because you have the arena into the Wukong's command. And it is pretty devastating because you are going to be stuck in there for quite a bit of time. Still last pickup, or rather last banouts to come for both teams. And John, I must admit, I always have a bit of a smile on my face when I see you wearing that shirt. I do like to refer to it as the toothpaste shirt. It always looks like a tube of toothpaste on your shoulders.
Yeah, it does look like that. Very refreshing, suitable for a fresh
Very
morning,
minty,
Mike.
John.
Still,
Look very minty.
it is
right
very
now.
minty. Thank you. Yeah, just nice and refreshing. Thank you, Mike. I can see you as well. You've got the floral shirt again.
Thank you, John.
Obviously, your wardrobe has nothing but floral shirts, which is great. Yes, I have seen chat constantly ask a couple of days if it's the same shirt.
No.
So there is that as well, Mike.
It is not. How dare they?
Not today. Not today.
I feel like I have to have one of those hangers behind me with all the different shirts, just so they know, but it gets a bit awkward when you've got to go to the shops and you've got nothing but these. I've got like one black polo, so when that's dirty and it's in the washing, I'm kind of screwed. Just going to stay at home and act as if we don't need to go to the shops. Still simply 2-base. Final ban out now. They got rid of the Morphling. So assuming that we are probably going to want another safe lane pickup and run the Monkey instead in the mid lane. They do actually get rid of the Wind Ranger as well, interestingly enough.
Yeah, it's I guess it's one of those heroes that PA doesn't like going into, mainly because if the Wind Ranger is allowed to have a lot of space, you have to worry about Wind Run. You're going to have to build an MKB on PA, which isn't ideal. PA would prefer more burst, more control, rather than the MKB. The attack speed doesn't do much for her because of how her blink works. So it's just a bit of a safe ban out to make the PA worry less about itemization here. Should be keen to see what Undying still has in mind. Like banning out the mids, as you mentioned, focusing in on what should be our Eye Annihilate here. They have left a lot of these Spirit Brothers in beyond the Storm. So Void Spirit's still an option here. Puck is taken out, so again, Void Spirit for Eye Annihilate seems like a pretty straightforward pick if they wanted that. Gives them good control. They might worry about the Monkey King matchup. We have seen Monkey King again just take control when it comes to a melee versus melee lane, but Void Spirit does have Resonant Pulse to keep wave control under his belt and to mitigate some of the damage the Monkey King will want to do there.
Right. You could still go for it though. I mean, we've seen plenty of teams still just pick up the Void Spirit regardless of the Monkey King. And they still seem to do okay. Well, they've got about 10 seconds to decide what their last pickup's going to be, simply 2-based. And they will go for the Leshrac, so something very different coming out. Does work very nicely into the Mars, into the Monkey, and the Enchantress for that matter. So a very nice pickup. My concern is whether this Leshrac is going to get to the point where it does become too powerful to deal with. We have seen a bit of Lesh here and there, and it does tend to drop off quite a bit in the current meta. So I'm not 100% sure if this pick is going to work out for simply 2-based. But I do like the fact that they're taking a bit of a risk here and changing things up.
Yeah, it's covering some of the gaps in two-base draft as well. Gives them some much-needed push, which they did lack on the side of simply two-base. So now they can actually take some towers out without as much of a cooldown as the Shadow Shaman wards. So there is a bit more uptime in their push potential here for two-base. You will have to watch for that control coming out here from Undying. There's just a lot of value from the Shadow Shaman, and that is going to cause maybe some issues here for the Lesh and the PA. So I think perhaps considering some early BKB pickups on these two cores. And Undying do go with the Invoker. So Invoker plus Monkey King plus Mars. There's a lot of combinations coming through here. They have great AoE control. The mid matchup for the Invoker shouldn't be too bad. The Invoker can sustain himself with a couple of levels. The Leshrac should still be able to farm really well, but the Invoker can complicate matters as well. So it's a great back and forth here. You've got some excellent scaling on both sides, although I do have to say, Undying, if the game drags on, you're going to have a Monkey King with Alacrity. That Monkey King will hit really hard if you don't keep that in check.
I mean, it goes both ways as well, right? Boris in the late game on the PA obviously does a lot of damage. The PA, one of the better scaling position ones you can pick up. So we'll see how it does pan out. But I do agree that the Monkey King with Alacrity is a very, very scary kind of hero to go into. Not to mention, of course, you also have Mars Arena into Cataclysm, which is also pretty devastating to say the least. But John, I'm going to ask you the hard question before we do start off this game number one. Who does have the better draft in your opinion?
When it comes to draft, I think I actually like Undying's just a little bit more. I think the presence of Dubu and Moon Meander on their supports are actually pretty darn nice. Their lane combinations are fairly solid. The Monkey King does have to worry about the burst damage coming out from Lush. At the same time, he can also just insta-burst the Leshrac if he's given enough space. So I think the timings for Undying are a bit easier to meet. They will have to watch mid. I think that's where some of the issues can come out, because you're playing against Earth Spirit. If he does get a good rotation onto the Invoker with a good roll combo, not much the Invoker can do with those early levels to survive. So you're going to have to invest a little bit here to protect that pickup, and that's what two-base should look to exploit. But overall, I think Undying's draft, they're not tied into these cooldowns like you would be on two-base for these fights. Like, Ravage is such a long cooldown. You could argue that Shadow Shaman wards are a long cooldown as well, but it's not necessary for the fights. It's only needed for the push. For the fights, all you really need is the Mars. And
big smoke
considering
up,
that uptime,
Ryle, smoke broken, he saw it. That Observer Ward may have just saved his life. Or one of his teammates for that matter. And it looks like they already realize where the enemy Observer Ward is. TOOBASED not going to be able to find anything with this smoke. Looks like they might even be aware that they were spotted out there for a second. Very unfortunate timing for simply TOOBASED, but very fortunate timing for Brawl and the rest of Undying.
Yeah, and just at the right spot at the right time. Good drop of that board as well in the middle of that smoke. Not going to go for any scuffles of their own, though. Undying's just going to look to secure their own bot set of runes. And they already have a nice forward laning ward, so Undying should be able to maybe go for those courier snipes again with Moon Meander in this time around, or at least get some safe pulse off, contest the pulse as well that Imperium's going to look to do. And that's going to be a bit of a nuisance on the side of TOOBASED here.
I wonder if TOOBASED realized that the Observer Ward is in that spot now, because they did get spotted, and I think they know they were seen by that Invoker. But I don't see any sentry wards here from TOOBASED, so for now it looks like they aren't quite aware. And with that, of course, the mid lane matchup is going to be Brawl up against Annihilate, excuse me, on the Leshrac. Who does this really favor, John? Brawl has gone for the Quas build-up. Do you think the Leshrac has the advantage, or do you think Brawl's going to get away with this mid lane?
I think Brawl's got an early advantage here. He's got better sustain. Annihilate did go for the Lightning Storm to clear out his waves. As the levels go on, it should be a steady farming lane. There is some kill opportunity for both sides if someone missteps. I feel like Annihilate will probably want a Earth Spirit rotation, though, to really hammer in some kills down the line. So that's probably the timing we're going to be looking for. But for now, should be even enough. You're finding some last hits on Brawl. He's 3-0. Our Annihilate is at 2-0, so slightly behind, but that's just one creep at this point. does give us a chance to take a peek at the other lanes. You can see Flea already getting that pull off, just wanting to get that EXP going. Dubu does not have impetus, so it's not as much damage coming through, but he is able to at least contest a bit and maybe soak that other wave as well.
Yeah, I mean, he went for the enchant just to be able to slow Flea down and get more harassment out while he's going for the pull, and now Dubu might actually get this kill. Flea, one more hit. In fact, never mind. Dubu gets lucky with the last hit, and it does a high amount of damage. Meanwhile, to the north, Tomato and Monkeys Forever going at it. Tomato almost dropping, but barely surviving. In fact, Monkeys still sticking around. Anchor Smash is there. Tomato wants to fight. Monkeys almost has the kill, but no, Tomato. He had the Boundless Strike ready, and he outplays Monkeys Forever there on the Tide. Roll in, not going to land either. Flea going to try and go for a bit of a trade, but he has the Jingu stacks. He could probably turn around. And Flea now needs to back off as Dubu's around. Luckily, Enchant is not available right now. Boulder Smash actually avoided by Tomato. He had a salve running at the same time, and they get Flea as well. Monkey's now on the back. Needs to get out of there, but Tomato wants to chase him down a little bit. They don't have the Shockwave off cooldown, so Monkeys Forever is going to be fine. But what a mischief dodge out by Tomato.
Yeah, I mean, he got full value from his salve. He's holding this lane. Level 3 on the Monkey King now. That is a very good start for Undying. Simply two-base, just over-aggressive, not respecting the Enchantress right-clicks, not respecting the dive under the tower, being a bit too greedy. So, good punishment out from Undying. Two-base maybe have to lick their wounds and pull back in that aggression. But although they try again, but it's not an easy time anymore with the level advantage. Way too difficult to go on the Monkey.
Yeah, I don't think you can actually afford to roll in like that anymore. Especially when Dubu's got the enchant at level 2. The slow is kind of insane, and of course with the impetus shots to back him up, it's just so much damage output. Still, the last lane that we haven't looked at quite yet is, of course, going to be Boris there on the PA, along with Empyrean on the Grimstroke. They will be up against Moon Meander on the Shaman and Saberlight on the Mars. For now, Saberlight is having a very nice time on that Mars, 16-1 in terms of CS. Of course, on the Shaman, Moon Meander can hold back Empyrean and Boris with that extremely high base damage. Looks like Saberlight is probably going to be in for a pretty good game.
It's already set up quite nicely, finding a lot more last hits right now than the PA. So setting themselves up quite nicely here. Not too much Empyrean. They could try an aggressive blink. Oh,
mid lane, Bryle ends up going down. Looks like he went quite deep to go for a kill onto Annihilate, but it does not work out. Flea with a very nice rotation there, and now he'll turn and run away from Dubu, who you can't really contest right now, because it's Enchantress after all. Annihilate ran back in. It's going to be alright. Flea, meanwhile, may not be, but he's trying to salve up and run. Dubu gets the enchant off. And I think Flea, he has a roll, so he should be okay. Dubu will force it out of him. He'll be alright. He'll just probably have to run back to the fountain.
He gets that successful rotation onto Bryle. That's what we were looking for Simply two-base to slow the Invoker down. But it's still not smooth going for Flea.
Bot lane.
Good steps out home.
They've got Empyrean there with the Shackle. Empyrean trying to buy some time for himself, but it's no good. He is going to go down a Saberlight. Nice easy pick up there from Undying. And of course, up against this duo down at this bot lane, you can't really be out of position. You will get caught out by the Shackle, and it is almost a guaranteed death if you do.
Yeah, it's a tricky lane to hold out on. Again, they've got this Inkswell Blink combination that they could try to play with, but considering how tanky that Mars is at this point, just not the safest play to go for. And you are still seeing Saberlight pull ahead of Boris here. Boris lagging behind 22-3. All the cores and Undying having a better time at the start of this game. And if they keep that momentum up, it should be really easy to scale. It's down mid again. Dubu this time with his own, enchanted creep, just getting that rotation off successfully.
Yeah, Bryle is the one who gets the kill on the Invoker. He does get a bit of a revenge for that earlier death he had, and that'll allow him to catch up in terms of XP. Because he does also have a Siege creep, so they can force in the tower a little bit. You creep wave to tank it up as well, but should be enough time now for the Leshrac to just TP back in and defend that tier 1 tower. Bryle is still going to get a significant amount of damage off. In fact, Dubu's going to rotate. They're going to try and force it a bit longer. enchanted creep as well, and they are going to go for a bit of a dive with the EMP and Tornado. Annihilate, still going to be fine, but just going to be a little bit lower on HP. But I love this play from Undying. They are not letting the siege creep die. Just throwing everything at this tier 1 tower that they can to buy more time for the siege creep to survive. And it's going to survive another round, John. Another creep wave is here. TOOBASED need to do something about this.
They just canceled the TP on Monkeys, though, so he's not going to be up there. He doesn't even have Ravage anyway. It's way too early in the game, and they're just going to be pressured out. This is not
really
the lane Lush ref points. Like, we talked about push potential from TOOBASED being nice with a Lush. He can't even go to the mid-tier 1 anymore because he lost access to his own mid lane.
This is a real disaster for Annihilate. He's going to be stuck in the jungle now. He is level 6, but level 6 isn't
lane?
like you could just go start jungling. Bot lane, they've got the Mars Saberlight. He is okay for now as Tomato is protecting, and Saberlight, he's actually going to back off as they do kill Flea. And now Boris is in trouble. The blow will save him for a second. The evasion as well. He'll blink away, still evading hits, but Tomato is eventually going to get him, and now they even found a third. Empyrean also being caught out, and that'll be a nice, easy triple kill for Tomato. Just complete domination thus far. Even top lane, Dubu just chasing down Monkeys forever, and Briar will happily take the kill with the Tornado. A 1-9 so far with a 5k net worth lead, and this is not looking very good for Simply TOOBASED.
It's looking far from based for them right now. 1-9, 5k lead now for the side of Undying. Really good rotations coming out from Tomato, finding the openings down bot, the slow down Boris, and Boris is really starting to lag behind that PA. All the cores and Simply TOOBASED just not finding that good start they'd want, and they're going to lose their bot tier 1 as well. Just the pressure here from Undying, too much to deal with.
Boris? I saw him farming at the top tier 1. I didn't think he was going to die, but he does go down a Briar, and now you talked about that bottom tier 1 tower, but Brawl and Dubu, they're going to focus in on that top tier 1. Another glyph going to be forced out here from the Radiant side of things. They have smoked up as well, TOOBASED. They know they need to get something done, but nothing is working out in their favor. Dubu almost even breaking the smoke there of Simply TOOBASED, but they're going to wrap around and try to go after the Invoker. Briar still very far forward, trying to go after that tier 1. Maybe giving his life away here. Roll should connect and does. Flea getting caught. Now Tornado is out, but Monkeys forever just going to commit the Ravage. He is not risking it. And Dubu should also die. However, bot lane, Boris ends up going down again. In fact, that was in the mid lane. Dubu is still being chased and should die, but now Saberlight going to join in with a spear. No arena, but Tomato, he's just so darn strong. He gets a Wukong's command off. It's not going to be that great, however. Everybody does run out of the circle, but Empyrean is going to die. A double kill out for Tomato, and he might just find another triple. Back to he won't. Flea will be able to roll out. But they killed the PA another time. Tomato is getting huge on this Monkey, almost having the Battle Fury up already. And they already have pretty much full map control.
Yeah, they've just taken control, and because they popped Ravage and Monkeys, they can't take any further fights now. They could maybe try to play around the Lush, although nice cut from Monkey should save him.
Definitely. There is still a bit of a cut coming here. Dubu and Saberlight just really using a bit of a pincer move onto Monkeys, even getting his courier. They know he's in the tree line somewhere. It looks like they might just try to force the tier 1 first and see if they can smoke him out. That Tornado creep gonna go through Monkeys forever, and now the tree dance will reveal the Tidehunter into the spear. Monkeys just has no way to get out of that. He'll die again. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Flea is also gonna die. Moon Meander does pick up that kill with the wards and also got Annihilate. It's a 10k net worth lead at 10 minutes, John. I haven't seen this much of a lead in quite a while. This is just complete domination.
Yeah, they're just stomping right now in Undying Sand. 2-15. This much net worth lead early on. Early Battle Fury for the Monkey King despite all the aggression. And this is that uptime I was talking about. They don't have many cooldowns to wait for. They can keep forcing fights out. The longest cooldown they have is the wards, and it doesn't matter too much in these fights. They can just use them for pickoffs because they have such a lead at even when they're pushing, there's no defense that can come out from TOOBASED.
We go again, Bryle, EMP Tornado. Meanwhile, Arena there onto Empyrean means he's dead on the Grimstroke. Flea coming in with the Magnetize now, getting a nice silence off. Can they actually fight back? Deafening Blast is there, but Bryle, he's a bit too far forward and is going to die. They're going to keep going, however. Moon Meander now also going to drop. Maybe just getting a bit overly confident on Undying, as now Sablelight's going to get jumped on. He might just be the third, but Tomato, he'll drop the Wukongs and try and fight back. They will kill off Saberlight and just run out of the Wukong's command, so Tomato will just chase them down after I Annihilate, but he is really just surrounded here. He's still trying to man fight this, but it is not looking great, and he will drop an even Dubu. He at least kills off I Annihilate, but he is also going to go down. A full team wipe now for Simply TOOBASED. And that is going to be a lot of golden XP going the way of the Radiant.
They really needed those kills. That helps them bounce back in a big way. Undying overextending this time around. They pop the arena on only one hero, just a Grimstroke. And respawns are pretty darn low that Empyrean just makes it back in due to how long that fight lasts anyway. So gotta watch how you take these fights still. There is still some bite here for Simply TOOBASED. And they did take that fight without popping Ravage. So Monkey still has that option if there is another fight to break out. Undying for their part, I mean, they've already got all the tier 1s. Unless they want to take a tier 2, there's no reason to be aggressive, although
Saberlight underneath the sentry is going to back, but there's another sentry ward in that mid lane. Just gets stunned up by the Inkswell, and again, Saberlight. It's going to go down. I Annihilate will hand over the tip. You know, Undying, although they're clearly outmatching Simply TOOBASED, they have to be a little bit careful not to get too overly confident in this matchup. Simply TOOBASED can easily come back with this PA if they're not too careful.
yeah, they still need a space out here for Boris, though. Trying to find that farm in the top lane, saving up for what seems to be his own battle fury, so not diverging yet. They are going to group up for the push up top, and with I Annihilate around with max level Diabolic Edict, they should be able to find their first tier 1. They can even take the follow-up fight, because again, Ravage is still up. So Undying will have to watch themselves if they want to actually go for the defense, which doesn't look like they will. The tower is a pretty dead lane, but they do pop fort, and they are smoked up here.
See what happens. Rushing over is Bryle and Moon. Tier 1 still pretty healthy as EMP Tornado is going to be thrown out onto Monkeys, and that is all his mana gone. They'll even drop the wards. Soulbind is there with a double silence, and Moon Meander can't quite finish him off, but the Sunstrike from Bryle is going to be on target, and now Empyrean will be the second to go. Flea, they know he's in the tree line somewhere, and they do actually catch him with the Deafening Blast. He'll try to run, but he will be hexed up, and he is just trapped to die in the woods against the Monkey King. It's a 3-for-0 trade, and unfortunately for Simply TOOBASED, they do not get the tier 1 tower either.
Not quite the result they'd want. They didn't get to get Ravage off because of that EMP. So they're not going to be too happy about that. They still are in position to fight again in the same spot. Triangle could be risky. Undying.
They're going to try Wukongs out of a Clarity, apparently. Tomato just avoiding all that damage with the Mischief. And now Flea, not sure about that roll-in. He misses everything. And he's just going to go to his death. They are going to make the jump in on the Shaman, but Deafening Blast is there with the Wukongs out, straight onto the PA. Meanwhile, the backlines, you've got an Arena down, but Saberlight is still going to die, but they've got Boris anyway. Now a Boundless Tomato, he kills off Empyrean, and an I Annihilate. He's been cold snapped up into the Primal Spring, but a nice Ravage there from Monkeys, but it's not going to matter. The earn damage is more than enough from Bryle. They clean him up once again. When does the torture stop, John?
Oh, Monkeys.
He's just not safe. Sunstrike would not be enough, but the Boundless will be there from Tomato. It just keeps going.
Yeah, it certainly does. Undying, bouncing back in after that one bad fight they had earlier on. You managed to punish Simply TOOBASED. Now, not quite the Ravage they were looking for this time around. Forced to use it defensively, but they lose all their big cores anyway. And Undying, they're still growing big. We're still seeing great scaling coming out from Tomato, saving up for the Ags. And once you have the Ags, he's going to have so much more presence in these fights. Have to be really cautious with how they go in. Right now, their best initiation is Flea with the Inkswell, although they might be able to force something out. But without Ravage, you really don't want to be in this situation for TOOBASED. So just sit back, farm where you can. Boris is 2 parts away from Battle Fury. Maybe once you have that up, you can look to, just keep trying to farm up in the PA. Maybe rush to BKB here and try to take over with some lucky crits.
It's going to be a very late Battle Fury timing here on Boris, but I guess better late than never, right? Get it whenever you can. Kind of reminds me of of going up against Smurfs, John. It's one of those games.
Oh yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, there was some lobby chat as well. I'm not sure if you caught it. Boris sent a picture of, I believe, Attack on Titan, which looked like a Titan slapping, directed at Moon, of course, because he's been really into that show. And he did mention he had some blackmail on Moon apparently, although Saberlight?
Yeah, Saberlight in danger. Roll in, he's going to go down. Nice pickup for TOOBASED. Even Boris now rotating towards the top lane, but Bryle is going to be waiting there for him in the Ghost War. Boris will be aware. I Annihilate going on to Dubu, but Bryle again going to be there to try and protect, and that'll be Dubu surviving and I Annihilate dying. Now a nice tornado out onto 2. There'll be Tomato jumping in. They'll try to kill off Bryle, but can they get the job done? It doesn't quite look like it. The heals are coming out from Dubu. The Hex is there onto Boris, in with the Shackles as well. He's just stunned up for such a long time, and he's gone as well as Monkeys Forever. We'll try to run, but the Spear is going to be there. You get 1 kill, but you lose 4. The only one to remove himself from that scenario was going to be Fleet, and he just barely gets out.
Oh, it's just rough now for TOOBASED. They've got some nice item spikes that yields on I Annihilate does allow him to set up, but even going for Dubu is not ideal. Dubu has a casual Hood of Defiance just to protect himself, and when you see a pause 5 that gets to farm up like that, it's not a very good situation here. TOOBASED, they have to be careful about dragging Boris into these fights. He just wants to farm. He gets messed up in the middle of it with the disarms and the control. He needs that Battle Fury into a fast BKB if he actually wants to join these fights. Still a smoke out from TOOBASED. They do have Ravage, so maybe they find a pick off this time.
Perhaps. They'd love to find Tomato. The pings are somewhat accurate. Looks like they are going to head the right way, Tomato. It's still not going to be the easiest target, but I Annihilate, if he can get the Yules off, and he does, into the Split Earth, it does land, and now they surround him. Tomato is going to die. Nice amount of golden XP going on I Annihilate on the left track. They'll rotate. There is going to be a counter smoke. Moon has his smoke broken. Brawl runs right into him. A nice Ravage is there, landing on 3. They might actually melt here. I Annihilate has a lot of control, and they do get them. Empyrean getting a double kill with the Inkswell. Now with the Soulbind down, they hold down 2 more. They'll get Moon Meander, and Dubu, he will be the next to fall. Maybe. It's a very... They actually can't kill him. He's got level 2 untouchable way too early, and they just can't kill him. Alright, fair enough.
They still found everything else. They found everything else they wanted. They play around a Ravage. The counter smoke from Undying, broken on the low ground, really cost them there. They've got to be, again, cautious as to how they approach this game. There's still opportunities here for simply TOOBASED. Boris has that late Battle Fury up, so right before the 20-minute mark, at the least, it comes out. Now it's time to just sit back, farm on PA, let your team do the heavy lifting of distracting the opposing side, and just hope for the best every single time Ravage is off. Undying, for their part, they know Ravage is down. They should look to make a play, and they do smoke up his tree once more.
Yeah, around the 20-minute timer. You know somebody's going to be around for the bounty rune, and it is going to be Boris. It's very unfortunate for Boris. They know he's there. Bryle will break the blur. Meanwhile, towards the south, looks like Empyrean has been caught out on the Grimstroke, and he is set to die. Boris still in a bit of danger, but he's going to be able to blink straight out in the end. That'll be enough. Just 1 support pick off. Back to the mid lane they go for Undying.
Yeah, a bit keen on that B ward. They drop 2 sentries. Well, no, they drop 1 more to just get vision. They drop the stun strike as well. So they take the control away from TOOBASED in the triangle. And this is a prime opportunity to go Roche. They've got the Ags up on Tomato. He hits like a truck. They can easily take this, especially now that they've got decent levels in Alacrity. It's going to just melt.
Very, very quick here. Be Roshan going down. No contest here from Simply TOOBASED. Double damage rune on
Arena.
the Monkey. Arena has been dropped. They've got to win there. Monkeys does not have Ravage for another 10. He's going to try and survive through this, but Tomato is hitting so darn hard. They get the Tornado, and that'll be a Tidehunter dying. Dubu will take the kill. That should be the tier 2 mid also dropping.
Yeah, it's just good movements out from Undying. That could have been a bit dicey. The Arena did break the tree of Tomato, although...
Moon Meander is going to get the Hex off into a double wards. He's got 2 of them stuck in there. Deafening Blast is going to push them out, but they've lost Annihilate. Flea is going to be able to roll, but what a Tornado! Bryle, how dare you! Oh, what a Tornado. TP cancellation there from Bryle. And John, that's just showing off.
Oh, yeah. That definitely is. On the edge of that Tornado. Nice set of pickoffs now for Undying. 15 to 34. They've got the Aegis. They are farming up a BKB as well on Tomato. So he's going to have less issues in the front lines. And once you have that early BKB, it becomes harder for TOOBASED to find the angles. They do hold onto the Ravage. So they're probably just going to seed a tier 2, hold a high ground, play with Ravage as best as they can. We have seen them find a couple of big kills before around Ravage. And if you're not careful on Undying, as we have seen them be very hasty in the past few fights, then they most certainly can find some opportunities. So just some patience needed here from TOOBASED.
Bit of a group up here in the mid lane from TOOBASED. We're looking for another smoke. I don't think it's the greatest idea right now. Undying, however, of course, are going to smoke because it's a great idea for them.
Oh, nice
Annihilate. Oh, Moon, he's going to find him out. He's got the blink up now, the Shaman. That is Annihilate gone. Maybe they could try to pick off the Monkey. Tomato is waiting, and Flea is going to find out the hard way, but he will roll out. Looks like Undying is pretty much ready to go high ground. I don't think it's going to be too long until they try.
They've got BKB up in Bryle. Very safe, even in the middle of Ravage, as long as he gets to use that item up. BKB for Tomato is a bit off still, but doesn't matter too much. As long as one of them can tank through the Ravage, I think you are pretty set to look onto those objectives. They want to go hunting Boris.
He tried to TP away. He's going to get cold snapped up into the shackles, into the Tornado. He just can't catch a break. They know exactly where he's going to be. And now you look towards the mid lane again. Empyrean also going to drop into more now. Monkeys is able to blink back up to the high ground. But they are locked within their base, and there is nowhere to go.
No, they're lacking some angles here. They could try to play with Blink Ravage outside, but it's a lot riskier than just playing the high ground. And TOOBASED are just trying to mitigate their losses. Still 2 heroes down. Undying, still have Aegis, still have fresh BKBs. They can just go up.
And that they will. There's your Alacrity Monkey King as well. Still love the fact that the statues actually hit the tier 1 tower if they spawn in the correct location. Moon Meander just going to get to work, but a big Ravage out. Monkey's landing on 4, but where's your follow-up? The Arena is there from Saberlight to make sure they cannot. Onto Annihilate they go, and that'll be a Leshrac gone into the Empyrean Grimstroke and the Flea Earth Spirit. It might just be time to call it. There's no buybacks left on the 3 heroes that are down. They are way too far behind, and there you go. GG has been called. Simply TOOBASED will have to try again in game number 2.
Dominating performance here from Undying in game number 1, showing us the difference perhaps between upper div and lower div. TOOBASED, they looked really good in the lower div NADPC, but up against Undying, who were again on the cusp of going to a major, they get pretty much wrecked. There's no sugarcoating this one. 15 to 40, 25-minute tap out. It's a hard one for TOOBASED to go into. Undying, of course, showing that solid performance we've come to expect from them. We'll see if TOOBASED can shake it up and get some new ideas for Game 2.
We'll find out, of course, that Game 2 draft should be starting in roughly 10 minutes. It's MLP on JohnXFire, and we'll see you as soon as that Game 2 draft is up.